so many Russians that even Putin's media can't hide the fact that Russians are returning to their motherland in body bags. They're already returning in body bags by some numbers are in the thousands. It's a major proxy war with U.S. mercenaries and European mercenaries and others engaging the Russians right now in a bunch of battles. So let's go ahead and play that clip.
3,000 U.S. troops deploying to Eastern Europe. Some armor will be going with them, apparently. To what effect, and what do you expect?
I think to no effect, Lou. It's game, set, and match in the Ukraine. The only way the United States can have any effect in this region and turn the tide is to start killing Russians by killing so many Russians that even Putin's media can't hide the fact that Russians are returning to the motherland in body bags. But given the amount of support we've given the Ukrainians, given the ability of the Ukrainians themselves to counterattack against these, 12,000 Russians camped in their country, sadly, that's not likely to happen, Lou.
General Bob Scales,
well, Napoleon,
right up to the point.
And Adolf Hitler and many others do the same thing with Russia every time, and Russia just sits there and lets people attack them, and then the real war starts. These guys sit there in their Fox News studios, and I know Lou Dobbs. He's been on the show. He's a listener. I don't blame him having this guy on. It's an interesting interview. I would have the general on. I think we ought to get Scales on here. I know he's a Fox News analyst. Those who probably won't come on, but they just sit there calmly going, let's start killing so many Russians, Putin can't hide it. Putin's not hiding it. He's gone up in the polls since all this started. If we had a foreign government up on the Texas border killing U.S. soldiers, that would make Obama popular, even the unpopular Obama. So this is really dangerous, folks. I know it's not as important as South by Southwest or American Idol or, you know, Dancing with the Stars, but it's just crazy to see this general, and he's not the only one, current NATO general, saying, let's just go ahead and have a war with the Russians. I mean, even if they have super advanced weapons, they're not going to stop all the Russian ICBMs and cruise missiles and sapper teams that basically black op, ghost teams, sleeper cells in the United States. I mean, we know they've got components smuggled in. I mean, and maybe that's what the globalists want, is a reset with the global financial crisis looming, and they know they're going to get blamed for what they authored. And they have war gamed the whole scenario and might want the Russians to set off a nuke they smuggled in, or nukes they smuggled in a long time ago, and vaporize Congress. And then the shadow government takes out the Russians, goes in their bunkers, and then reemerges. I mean, it's global domination. Hitler was ready to lose the entire German population for global domination. And when 20 million Germans had already died, the last week 1 million were lost in and around Berlin alone. They flooded the subways to stop the Russian advance, and they said 500,000 women and children are in those subways. And Hitler's quotes are on record, put out by the SS before he died, that the German people deserve it then because they didn't win. So it's the same mindset, ladies and gentlemen, where we just might have to have a nuclear war so we get our global government and reemerge after it. That's the view of the globalist. You go back to Dr. Strangelove, 1964, with the Rand Corporation plan. That's what the whole thing's based on. They say Bland Corporation in the movie, but it's an allegory. It's pretty much like The Godfather, which Puzo admitted was a true story, and the names were changed. That stuff really went on, minus the Doomsday Machine and minus the First Strike. General LeMay, L.L. Linminster, and others wanted to have a nuclear war with Russia and had plans written up for the elite to go underground in these bases and then reemerge after a decade with global military supremacy. This is crazy. It was Bertrand Russell said we might have a nuclear war to bring in peace after it and to reduce world population. These people are sick. They are sick, crazy people. This General Scales is a maniac nut on TV saying, let's start killing Russians in massive numbers so Putin can't hide it. Putin has now gone public and said, yeah, we got nukes. We're getting ready to use them. Yeah, our Russian forces, Russian army is in Ukraine. We're ready to fight because NATO just sent in heavy tanks. You understand? NATO's sending in heavy tanks, folks. They're going to start engaging the Ruskies point blank openly. And the Russians are moving in nuclear weapons. Meanwhile, you got a bunch of hopeless people here in Austin with their college degrees that are worthless being milked by the scam artist South by Southwest thing, wandering around thinking they're trendy because, you know, they have crooked mustaches and miscolored socks. Stay with us.
The human body is extraordinary. Despite all the stresses we inflict upon it, it still works hard to stay in balance. Thousands upon thousands of people rely upon Heart and Body Extract to help their body stay balanced. This excellent 100% natural herbal formula helps maintain healthy blood pressure levels, cleans arteries, promotes good circulation, balances cholesterol, and more. HB Extract, paired with healthy lifestyle choices like good nutrition and exercise, can give you a life free of pain, sickness, and fear. Recapture your youthful vitality and experience your body healing itself with the aid of HB Extract. It's extremely effective and it starts working in just days. Visit hbextract.com to learn more and to read scores of testimonials from satisfied customers. And we've never increased our price in over 10 years. That makes Heart and Body Extract as great a value now as it was the first day we sold it. A healthy heart is a happy heart. Call 866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
As the New World Order continues to tighten its grip on every facet of our lives, we're all asking ourselves, how can we maintain our independence? The answer is clear. Get prepared, and you get prepared now. Now the only question left is, where do we begin? My Patriot Supply is here to help. Call 800-247-3070 to get started with your 72-hour emergency food supply for only $10. We're even covering the cost of shipping. Are you willing to rely on the government and FEMA in the event of an emergency? Call 800-274-3070 to get started with your 72-hour emergency food supply for only $10. You won't be able to find this deal online, and there is a strict limit of 4 per caller, so don't wait. Call now, 800-274-3070. That's 800-274-3070. Call right now.
Sold out for weeks due to the difficult and extensive proprietary process behind its creation. The exclusive InfoWars Life Secret 12 formulation is now back in stock. This ultra-clean vitamin B12 nutraceutical has been carefully crafted and developed over the last 2 years and is based on cellular science of how your body actively absorbs essential nutrients. Most forms of vitamin B12 are highly processed and synthetic and could not be properly absorbed by the body. Secret 12 is a binary of nutramedical grade, bioavailable coenzyme forms of B12, methylcobalamin, the same kind used in B12 injections, and adenosylcobalamin, the most bioactive form that has been created with our proprietary process. Secret 12 is taken by mouth, right on the tongue, and then swallowed. No needles, no injections. Don't take my word for it. Try it for yourself. Discover the secret. Secret 12. Supplies of Secret 12 are very limited. Secure yours today at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.
Hey, Boomer! I learned in school today that 60% of our bodies are made of water. Good thing we have the Berkey system. It's the cleanest, best water ever. Mom says it's because the Berkey's filtration system cleans out the bad stuff and leaves only pure, delicious water. I know, right? You love it too. Yeah, I'm thirsty too. Let's go get some. Get Berkey Clean Water by calling 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653. Or visit GoBerkey.com.
You know about RVs, you've heard about bunkers, but surviving is not recreation, and man wasn't made to live underground. Introducing Survivalist Camps, the ultimate fully functional off-the-grid survival bug-out house that's mobile, well-equipped, and custom-built to outlast any other RV or trailer. Go to survivalistcamps.com to learn more. That's survivalistcamps.com, providing your basic needs to survive. Survivalistcamps.com.
Way up north, to Alaska. Way up north, to Alaska. North.
This out just minutes ago on the heels of what I was just breaking down. Vladimir Putin says Russia was preparing to use nuclear weapons if necessary and blames U.S. for Ukraine crisis. Here's AP. Russia launches massive Arctic military drills. The Russian military today launched sweeping military maneuvers in the Arctic and other areas, a show of force ordered by President Vladimir Putin, aimed amid spiraling tensions with the West over Ukraine. The 5-day Arctic drills involving 38,000 servicemen, that's just north of Canada, and more than 50 surface ships and submarines and 110 aircraft are intended to check the readiness of Russian Northern Fleet and the military's ability to deploy additional forces from central Russia. I want to explain something. We just played a former U.S. general saying, let's start killing more Russians. They're sending tank brigades in from NATO, admittedly to start engaging Russian forces. They just released a documentary shot about a month ago because Putin's been missing for weeks, with Putin saying that they're preparing for nuclear war and that the West are basically terrorists and they're trying to destabilize the planet and trying to set up a world government and just all this over-the-top truth. Again, I'm not lionizing Putin. And is he underground because I think a war is about to start? Well, Joe Biggs has some sources in Russia through Army connections that have in the past been accurate. And he's going to talk about why Putin may be missing. This is pure speculation. Obviously, it's been a lot of speculation of why is he missing? Is he dead? They've now released this interview he supposedly did a month ago on state-run television, and then another taped interview. Joe Biggs, former Staff Sergeant, U.S. Army, combat vet, you've got some sources. What are they saying?
Yeah, so the word is I've got some friends. My cousin, he's also engaged right now to this Russian girl, and her mother still lives over in there. And so I send them texts from time to time.
And they've given you good stuff before.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they've talked about the Russian military, you know, lining up outside of Crimea right before all that happened. So, I mean, they've been pretty spot on with everything so far. But he texted me back last night and says her mom said that Putin has stage 4 cancer. And like we said, we don't know this for sure, but this is what we were told from that. Says that Putin has stage 4 cancer and he is trying to earn a place in the history books before he is gone. At least that's the story in Ukraine. So, you know, he's been gone for a while now. No one knows where he is. Maybe he's getting some kind of medical treatment. And like you said, I mean, if he knows that he doesn't have that much time left, he could be willing to do something, like you said, make a name.
Well, we know that's what the West is doing, is trying to act like hot shots like Napoleon and Hitler. What is your view on this whole Russia situation, Joe?
I kind of believe that. I think that that's more of he's someone who's he's very prideful. And I think that's something that he would do. If he knew he didn't have much time left, he'd be willing to go out and do as much harm as possible, possibly, just to make a name for himself so people could remember him as, you know, like this great warrior, I would think. I don't know.
Well, he's a former KGB guy, and he's got the hardliner Russians behind him. And the Russians feel like they're being ganged up on. Historically, they have that psychology. They lost 20 million people in World War II, just like Germany. That was the big toe-to-toe battle. And they have a psychology of being attacked because they have been invaded over and over again. Mm-hmm. And it just seems like a very dangerous time right now.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, like I said, whenever someone like that high profile is gone for a while, it kind of makes you worry what's going on. What is he planning? Is he, like you said, is he possibly in some underground bunker getting ready for something? I mean, Well,
he was already missing a few weeks ago, late last year, and it turned out he was in a monastery, reportedly for 2 weeks, just, quote, deciding what to do. That's what's scary about the fact when you have one guy running something, they could really start World War III, but here's the problem. It's the West messing with him.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's just crazy. It'd be like going in a bar and picking the biggest, meanest looking guy and going up and punching him in the nose. I mean, you know, it's just crazy. This is not Iraq, Joe.
Yeah, it's poking the bear big time. They're definitely trying to pick a fight.
What do you think the point of that is?
The more wars we have, the more money they make with these contracts.
But we can't have one with China or Russia. They have thousands of nuclear weapons, and their spies are all over the place.
Yeah. I think they like to keep people in fear of the fact that it could happen.
What do you think is going to happen at the end of the day?
Well, fear controls everything. You know, that's what they use. They use that fear to control the American public. It's just a big propaganda tool, the way they're going to control the media to make people feel like they're constantly under attack.
I agree they're trying to create fear, saying ISIS is in the Caribbean and all this stuff. But, Joe, what I'm getting at here is they really are, proxy troops are engaging Russians in Ukraine.
Yeah.
There's a real war going.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems incredible chutzpah, just major bravado.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hopefully nothing happens. You know, this is one war that we don't want to get into.
Well, you're not patriotic, Joe, because you don't want to have thermonuclear war and destroy the planet. How dare you?
Yeah, I guess that makes me a racist as well.
Absolutely. You're now anti-American, which is racist, because you don't want to have a nuclear war for a bunch of foreign bankers who are buying armored underground shelters in New Zealand as fast as they can.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go buy really tight jeans now and become a trendy. I'm sorry.
That would be trendy. That would not be racist. Good. Grow a
We're
mustache.
on the march.